Always true.
We ask the questions.
What is needed in the world?
Is that going to be
October 9, 2006. With 20 minutes warning, North Korea tells China it's about to detonate its first nuclear device. China's leadership sends an emergency alert to the White House, where President George W. Bush gets word that a North Korean test is imminent. It was a glaring defeat of efforts to control the spread of nuclear weapons technology.
We must act on every lead. We will find the middlemen, the suppliers, and the buyers. Our message to proliferators must be consistent and it must be clear. We will find you, and we're not going to rest until you are stopped.
But the spread of technology had not been stopped. And it wasn't just North Korea. Iran and Libya too had mastered the ability to enrich uranium, a critical step for any country that might want to manufacture nuclear weapons. How did that happen? In 2004, the United States announced that intelligence services had established the existence of a vast underground network of suppliers of nuclear technology and skills. It was, they alleged, led by this man, Abdul Qadeer Khan, also known as the father of Pakistani nuclear bomb. Overnight, A.Q. Khan became one of the most wanted men in the world. Pakistan's military regime, led by General Pervez Musharraf, responded by isolating A.Q. Khan, putting him under house arrest and shielding him from the outside world. No one was allowed to talk to him. Neither the CIA nor the IAEA, whose chairman at the time, Mohammad al-Baradi, described the Khan network. It's mind-boggling, he said. All I know is there's at least more than 30 companies in 30 countries all over the globe involved in this fantastic, sophisticated, illicit trafficking network, with Mr. A.Q. Khan acting as CEO. After working as a nuclear scientist in Europe for several years, Khan had returned to Pakistan to build the nation's capabilities. While doing so, he allegedly brought in extra equipment and parts from suppliers around the world. These suppliers were located in the Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, Turkey, South Africa, and Malaysia. He then sold the extra parts and his know-how to clients in Libya, Iran, and North Korea. And he used banking and shipment services in Dubai for the transactions. A.Q. Khan was forced to go on national TV to confess.
The investigation has established that many of the reported activities did occur and that these were inevitably initiated at my behest.
But A.Q. Khan was careful not to confess to all the allegations.
In my interviews with the concerned government officials, I was confronted with the evidence and the findings, and I have voluntarily admitted that much of it is true and accurate. My dear brothers and sisters, I have chosen to appear before you to offer my deepest regrets and unqualified apologies.
So until this day, many questions remain. For example, when the Swiss government tried to uncover who in that country had been supplying A.Q. Khan, a parliamentary commission found that evidence had been destroyed. Apparently after pressure from the United States, raising suspicions that America had things to hide. And why exactly did the Musharraf regime stop him from talking to international investigators? Did A.Q. Khan have evidence implicating his own government in his activities? Today, irony is bringing both A.Q. Khan and his former boss Musharraf onto the public arena at the same time. Musharraf has returned to re-establish himself politically in his country. But shortly after his return, a judge ordered him to be put under house arrest, and the prosecutor investigating Musharraf's role in the killing of former Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto was murdered. A.Q. Khan is also trying to establish a political movement. His party failed to gain a single seat in parliament in the most recent elections, but he's hoping to build on his fame to offer a program for Pakistan's future. But he is still hard to reach. Despite Pakistan's highest court declaring him in 2009 to be a free citizen, he is surrounded by security in this neighborhood in Islamabad. And he is still refusing to meet either IAEA or foreign journalists to explain in more detail his involvement in nuclear proliferation. Now, AQ Khan talks to Al Jazeera. Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan, welcome to Al Jazeera.
Yes, please.
Let's go back to the confession itself. The confession that you made, that confession, you said it was forced upon you, and you were forced to say those words on national television.
I don't want to discuss it because the court asked me not to discuss this thing anymore.
But so the court says that you cannot discuss.
Yes, there is a court order that I should not discuss those matters anymore. The court declared me as a free citizen and nothing to do with anything. I have not been accused of any crime or anything, but the court has asked me not to not to talk about this anymore.
So, just to make it clear, did you or did you not proliferate nuclear technology?
I don't want to discuss. I told you, and that's why I don't meet the foreign journalists. You see, that was the reason. When I said the court has said no, so we don't want to discuss it anymore. I don't want to violate the court orders.
But how can you be a free man? How can you aspire to be leading the nation?
I'm not aspiring to lead the nation. I'm just asking some people, some good people to be in the parliament to point out the mistakes, the misdeeds, the corruption and all those things. I'm not aspiring for any to become the prime minister or the president or anything.
But there are lots of other people doing the same thing. All political parties say they want to do exactly what you're saying.
Their record in front of you. Have they been doing for the last 60 years, 65 years? They all promise and they never deliver. So that's why I put myself in the politics now and have brought up some candidates so that we could play some role.
But when you do place yourself in politics, the nation remembered you as you were the hero of the nation in Pakistan. You were lauded by many. You were still considered to be a hero by a lot of people.
It's still the
but
same.
Then there was the confession. Now, which Abdul Qadeer Khan is the real Abdul Qadeer Khan? If you're not going to talk about
I was a hero. I'm still a hero. I'm still adored. I'm still loved by the whole nation. Nobody believes in anything what has happened or what was said about me. Nothing. That has nothing to do with the...
But we're not talking about what people said about it. We're talking about your own words. Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan's statements when he conducted the tests.
I told you, please, the court has asked me not to discuss it. So don't try to push me.
Okay. So let's talk about your party's position.
Yes.
Let's say your party comes into a sizable majority. What does Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan say about foreign policy, relations with other countries,
relations should be good, peaceful relations with everybody, not to play the stooge of any foreign power. Be independent, keep your sovereignty, work hard for the economic development, industrialization, education, health, all those things which the country needs, which the people need.
And what would you say to relations with vis-a-vis, countries like China or Iran?
We have good relations with them. We are neighbors, so we must keep good relations with them. I'm even for good relations with India, as long as some amicable solution is found for Kashmir. The relations will be as good as between Germany and France and Germany and America and Germany and England and so.
Okay, so you yourself have been very close to nuclear technology. You yourself are a viewer and you've been a commentator on various technologies which other nations are developing, which is alarming a lot of other countries. What would your opinion be about the nuclear technology? And there's a lot that we hear in the media about how close Iran is building a bomb, how close North Korea.
This is just propaganda, Western propaganda for public consumption. They were making the same propaganda about Iraq and they couldn't find a trace of it, an iota of truth was in it. And even Colin Powell had gone to the United Nations and was showing the pictures of chemical weapons laboratories and this and that, and then he apologized. Now you attack a country on false accusations, you destroy the whole country, you kill millions of people there, and then you say, oh, it was a false information. So this is the same thing. Iran is a part of NPT. Everybody must know that Iran is a signatory to NPT. IAEA can send any inspectors anytime there to see anything, visit any facility. So there is no question of Iran getting anywhere near the nuclear weapons production. So this is as simple as the daylight. So this is just a propaganda for public consumption and make propaganda.
What would you call the so-called evidence which was found, let's say in Libya, which sort of dates back Libya getting close to developing nuclear technology, accusing you to be part of it?
They cannot make a bicycle. How could they make a nuclear bomb or nuclear weapons? So again, you can give them credit for sending the men to the moon. That Libya was just close to sending the men to the moon, or maybe sending the ballistic missile to the United States, like they are saying about North Korea. So it is all Western propaganda, and it suits them very well. And the public, unfortunately, is not so well informed, and the majority of public, I would say, illiterates. Doesn't mean literacy, doesn't mean that you can read the newspaper. You should also have the common sense to understand what is going on in the world. So it is very easy for them to mislead them and tell their public and get the support.
But the counter argument to that would be Westerners who go out in meetings and say that the Iranians come out and say that we will conduct tests. Nuclear technology is their right.
They never said, putting the words in their mouth again and again. Ahmadinejad, Rafsanjani, all have said, we don't want to make nuclear weapons. We are not making nuclear weapons. We don't think it is necessary for us to have nuclear weapons. Again and again, those instruments are totally ignored. And as I said, if they are NPT signatory, how come? How is it possible for them to do anything without IAEA knowledge or without the knowledge of the inspectors?
But North Korea has just conducted a third nuclear test.
North Korea has been a very close friend of Soviet Union and China for the last 60 years. And they have got all their engineers and scientists trained in China and the Soviet Union, in this field also. So no doubt they are quite capable and they can do it. They can even build a ICBM, etc. if they want to.
And coming on to ICBMs was going to be my next question, because whenever the North Korean ICBMs come into question, your name also pops up, that you helped them acquire that technology, you gave them the knowledge.
If we could make ICBMs, if I had that knowledge, then Pakistan would be the first to make ICBMs instead of helping others, and we should have been able to send the satellite to the orbit, which we have not been able to. So this is all humbug.
What about their missile technology? North Koreans themselves say that it's one of the most sophisticated missile technologies in the world.
Not as sophisticated as the Western countries have, the Americans, the British, or the how do you say, French and even the Russians. They must have a crude system, not such a sophisticated system. But sometimes crude system also works. It's good enough to frighten the other people.
So would you take any credit in giving them that knowledge?
Pakistan did not have any knowledge about missiles, and Pakistan has not given any information to anybody about missiles. We are novice in this field.
And what about their weapons program? They threaten their neighbor and even powers in the region with that.
You see, if you push even a cat into the corner, the cat reacts and will attack you. So they are bullying this country, such a small country, for the last 60 years, threatening them, boycotting, putting embargoes, economic sanctions, and all those things. So this is also a verbal tit for tat from their side. They know very well, you see, they know they would become charcoal within 5 minutes if they do anything wrong, if they took any wrong step. There won't be any North Korea on the map of the world within 5-10 minutes. They know it, and they are not so stupid to do any irrational thing.
Let's come back to, because you see that, like you said, you call it, there's a lot of propaganda about Iran and its nuclear program. Can you categorically tell us that Pakistan and Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan had nothing to do with Iran's nuclear program?
Yes, I have nothing to do, and Pakistan nothing to do with. All the Western countries, you see, the nuclear technology, Pakistan did not develop. Pakistan also acquired from the Western countries. They are also acquiring from the Western countries.
But you are accused of proliferating it.
Everybody can accuse anybody. I never put my foot on the Iranian soil. I never met any Iranian scientist or engineer in my life. So it is very easy to blame, like that Indian guy, I forget his name, in Monterey Institute. He said, I went 13 times to North Korea. Now everybody quotes, Dr. Khan went 13 times to North Korea. I went twice with the permission of the government as a government delegation, which is on record. And since he wrote, I went 13 times, it has become a certified statement that I went 13 times. And he also said that I had a villa at the Caspian Sea. So, do I need a villa at the Caspian Sea to go all the way from here to there when I have got a house here, nice house, just like living in a forest? And what for would I like to have a villa at the Caspian?
Okay.
Have I got that much time or my family to go there? And
okay, let's talk about. It's very good to hear that you can come out on the record and tell us that you had nothing to do with giving them either the technology. Then why is it that no IAEA or no other international observers are allowed to come in and speak to you and discuss with you the details which you are accused of? Wouldn't you like to clear the record?
I don't want to talk to them, to anybody. It is my own decision. Why should I? I am not a criminal that they should come and interrogate me as a prosecutor.
Wouldn't you want to clear your name?
No, my name is clear. My country, my people know me very well, and I don't care what the world thinks about me. I did whatever I could do for my country, and I'm proud of it. And the people are proud of me, and they love me for it, and the rest I don't care who says what.
And so, now that you've said that, what is the legacy that you yourself are looking ahead to in generations to come? How do you want people to remember you? Because if those are the like you said, what you call propaganda keeps going around.
Nobody believes in this country. Let them say whatever they want to say. You have seen me. If you see me going out, if you see me in the public, you should have seen me yesterday. I was at the press conference. When I was in public meetings, you would see how people love me and adore me and still consider me as the savior of Pakistan.
30 years from now, what should people remember you as?
They will remember whatever I am, whatever I have done. I have saved this country from Indian blackmail, from other countries' blackmail. I have given them a defense which is impregnable by our foes and enemies. So this is good enough for me and for the public to remember me. And that's how they remember me. Why do they call me Mohsen-e-Pakistan? Benefactor of Pakistan. Why? I haven't paid them any money. If we had money, my advertisements would be going on the TV about the elections. Have you seen a single advertisement from us or from our party? Because we don't have money, we can't buy the people.
You've formed a political party, yes. And your party is contesting the elections as well. Why did you think that you need to do it?
Well, everybody has got some idea. I helped the country when it needed me, and now I think the country needs me because the political situation is so bad, the economic situation, law and order and everything, and I believe I can help a lot. I can do a lot of things because the people love me and they listen to me. So that's why I formed the party, and I'm trying to put some people in the parliament to put check and balances on the maladministration.
There are more than 200 candidates who are contesting elections from your platform,
yeah.
But you are not among them. Why did you not take part in it?
No, I'm just as a leader, as a guide. I don't have to take part in any election.
I don't want to be a part of the parliament. My stature is much higher than become a member of parliament.
And what do you think that the people that you're putting in the parliament will achieve?
Oh, I guess they will be able to point out there are any mistakes, any corruption, maladministration, favoritism, nepotism. So that's why we are not hoping for sweeping the elections or going to make the government or anything. We just want some people to be there for check and balances.
But you did also went ahead and met with religious parties, including the Jamaat-e-Islami, and you said you will support them, but then you decided to field your own candidates. Why did you align yourselves with the religious parties rather than the progressive?
No, that was only the Jamaat-e-Islami, because Jamaat-e-Islami has got educated middle class people. They have never been accused of any maladministration, corruption, nepotism or anything. The problem is they have never been able to catch the votes because people think if they come, they might put up a Taliban type government, which is not true. They are all well educated people and broad minded. So that's why we thought we could work with them and support each other's candidate.
Okay. Now, you like you said, you don't see yourself as a prime ministerial candidate or taking part in the usual proceedings of the National Assembly. Is that purely your choice, or is that because that being a national leader, there's still quite a lot of restrictions on your movement?
No, there is no restriction.
No foreigner is allowed to meet you.
Who?
No foreigners are
No, the
allowed.
foreigner, I don't want to meet myself, because there is always a mischief when they meet me and they go back. The first thing they write about nasty things about me before they mention anything about the interview or about myself. So that's why I don't want to see them.
Dr. Khan,
But I have been traveling. I have been attending the party meetings. I was in Gujarat. I was in Wazirabad. I was in Gujranwala. I was in Faisalabad. I was in Lahore, in Qusur. So I have been to many places.
So it is your prerogative that you do not want to meet or interact with any foreign journalists,
Yes.
particularly.
Yes.
Right. Can you tell us why is that?
But
Why do you think that every single foreign journalist who will meet you will have malintentions about you?
no, because you see, it's always a cheap publicity they want to make. Everybody want to put some spice into their article, and they want to put a lot of nasty things which are not true. And I have no intention of going and rebutting them and telling this is not correct and that is not correct, that's a lie and so. So it's much better to avoid and don't get involved in any controversy.
Speaking of controversy, there have been a lot of statements that have come out recently, whether they were about Imran Khan, whether they were about other political leaders in Pakistan that have come from you. Let's begin with the former military ruler Pervez Musharraf. There is a statement which is attributed to you where you say that he should be facing the capital punishment. Do you believe that?
I did not say capital punishment. I said he should face for the wrongdoings which he did. I did not say I did not say that he should be hanged or put to the pole. I just said he should pay for his deeds.
What do you think is the payment for what he did?
I don't know. The court will decide. It's not for us to decide, and there's no good of in guess working. The court is already hearing the cases, and I think they will take appropriate action because he had detained the judges, he had abrogated the constitution, emergency, and all those things which are against the constitution.
And personally about you, the statement that you came up with, the statement that ran on national television ran during his tenure. So personally, what do you think? What does Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan think should happen to Pervez Musharraf?
Let the fate should decide about him. My wishing or my hoping wouldn't play any role. The court will decide, and it is up to the court. The Supreme Court is already dealing with the case on day-to-day basis, and the anti-terrorist court is dealing with him. So is no good of hoping and guessing and wishing.
Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan, thank you very much for speaking to us.